Hello kids, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to see 7th class science, 5th lesson, heat measurement, question answers. Improve your learning. First question. The body temperature of Srinath is 99 degrees Fahrenheit. Is he suffering from fever? If so, why? Yes, Srinath is suffering from fever. The normal temperature of human body is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. As Srinath has temperature of 99 degrees Fahrenheit, it is fever. That is, he is having fever. Okay, normal body temperature is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. If you have temperature more than this value, then you will be having fever. Okay, you are having fever. So here Srinath is having more than this 98.6. He is having 99 degrees Fahrenheit. So he is having fever. Okay. Next, second one. Why do we use mercury in the thermometer? Can water be used instead of mercury? What are the problems in using it? Answer. Mercury is used in the thermometer because its expansion is uniform. It is opaque and shining. It does not stick to the sides of the glass tube. It is a good conductor of heat. It is easily available in pure state. Water cannot be used instead of mercury. Water cannot expand as much as mercury expands for a small rise in temperature. Water is not opaque and shining. Water sticks to the sides of the glass tube. Okay, that's why we don't use water. Water is not opaque and it is not shining, and it sticks to the sides of the tube, and it doesn't expand like mercury. Okay, if small temperature rises there, water doesn't expand, whereas mercury expands. Okay, mercury is opaque and shining, expansion is uniform, and is doesn't stick to the sides of the glass tube, and it is good conductor of heat. So that's why we use mercury. It is also easily available in pure state. Okay, without any impurities, it is available in pure state. So that's why we use mercury. Next, third one. Temperature of Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir is 4 degrees centigrade and Hyderabad is 7 degrees centigrade. Which of them has greater temperature? What is the difference between the temperatures of these two places? So Hyderabad has a greater temperature. Here you can easily see Jammu and Kashmir is minus 4 degrees centigrade. Okay, this is minus 4 degrees and this is 7 degrees. So which is having more temperature? Obviously Hyderabad, because Hyderabad is 7 degrees and this is in negative value, minus 4 degrees. So this has lesser temperature. Okay. The difference between the temperatures of these two places is 7 degrees minus of 4 degrees. That is 11 degrees centigrade. So difference of temperature is 11 degrees centigrade. Next, fourth one. During winter mornings, why do people stand in sun? Explain. In winter, the temperature of the atmosphere in the mornings will be very less than the body temperature of the people. So, heat from the people flow from their body to the atmosphere. People feel quite chill. If people stand in the sun in morning, the heat radiations from the sun reaches the body of the people, preventing the flow of heat from their bodies to the atmosphere. People feel warm if they stand in the sun. Okay, the temperature of our body will be more. Okay, atmosphere in the morning will be very less than the body temperature. Means in winter season, what happens in the morning? The atmosphere around us will be less, temperature will be less in the atmosphere, okay, than our body temperature. So what happens? Our body temperature goes out and we feel very cool, okay. So if we stand in the heat, what happens? We can observe the heat, that is radiation from the sun, and we can feel little bit warmer. That's why we will be standing in the sun, okay. Next one, fifth one. After walking some distance on a hot summer day, why do we prefer to go into the shade? Answer. When we walk on a hot summer day, we get heat in two ways. Direct heat radiation from the sun and reflected heat radiation from the surroundings. So we feel very hot. To get relief from this hotness, we prefer to go into the shade where we get only reflected heat radiation. Okay, so since we'll be getting two heats, there is direct heat radiation from the sun and reflected heat radiation from the surroundings. So we cannot overcome this because these two heats, that is radiations, will be more, okay, and that's why we feel very hot. So when we go under the shade, then only the reflected radiation will be there, then little bit cooler we feel, okay. So both radiations, if it is added, it will be more comparatively with one radiation, okay. So that's why we will be standing under the shade in summer days, okay. Sixth one. Srinath takes a sip of cool drink and feels the chill. Guess what its temperature is? Try to measure it. Answer. The temperature of the cool drink may be 10 degrees centigrade. The normal temperature of the human body will be 37 degrees centigrade. The cool drink is at 10 degrees centigrade and so Srinath feels the chill. When I measured the temperature of the cool drink, I find it at 11 degrees centigrade. This you have to find out, okay. So usually the temperature of a cool drink will be lesser, okay, because they will be keeping that cool drinks in the fridge. So the temperature will be less, but our body temperature is 37 degrees. So if anything we take less than this temperature, so we feel it is cool, okay. So since it is kept in the refrigerator, what happens? The temperature is less. Here it is mentioned as 10 degrees centigrade. So obviously when we drink that cool drink, what happens? We feel chill, okay. And this one you try to measure when you sip at cool drink, you try to measure the temperature of the cool drink and note down here, okay. Next one, seventh. Jyoti was prepared to measure the temperature of hot water with a clinical thermometer. Is it right or wrong? Why? Answer. Jyoti was wrong. The clinical thermometer can read temperature between 35 degrees centigrade to 45 degrees centigrade. The temperature of hot water may be more than 45 degrees centigrade. Centigrade or Celsius is both are same, okay. You can call it centigrade or Celsius, okay. Whatever it may be, both are same, okay. If the clinical thermometer is put in hot water, mercury in it expands beyond the limit and thermometer may break, okay. So that's why we should not use clinical thermometer for measuring hot water. Next one. Swati kept a laboratory thermometer in a hot water for some time and took it out to read the temperature. Rani said it was wrong way of measuring temperature. Do you agree with Rani? Explain your answer. Answer. As Rani said, it is wrong way to measure temperature. Wrong way of measuring temperature. In laboratory thermometer, there will be no kink in the capillary tube. When the thermometer is taken out of hot water, mercury level in the thermometer fall down as there is no kink in the capillary tube near the bulb to prevent the level of mercury falling on its own. Okay, so that's why we should not use laboratory thermometer. Why do we jerk a clinical thermometer before we measure body temperature? The kink in the capillary near the bulb of the clinical thermometer prevents mercury level from falling on its own. Before we measure body temperature, we should bring the mercury level to the minimum. This is possible only by giving a jerk to the thermometer to bring back the mercury level in it to the minimum. Okay, so whenever you use thermometer, you give a jerk. Okay, you shake it so that the temperature becomes minimum. Okay, 10th, heat energy is converted into other forms of energy. Give some examples. Answer: if we use electric heater to heat water, electrical energy is converted into heat. If we use a gas stove, chemical energy is converted into heat. In solar heaters, solar energy is converted into heat. Okay, here you can see the energy conversion. Electrical energy is converted to heat, and here chemical energy is converted to heat, and here solar energy is converted to heat. Okay, so these are the examples for conversion of energy from one form to other form. Next one. Pratima said heat is a form of energy. How do you support her? Answer: heat is a form of energy. I support Pratima. One form of energy can be converted into other form. Heat energy can be converted into mechanical energy, electrical energy, etc. Energy can do work. With heat, we can do several works. So heat is a form of energy. Okay. 12th one. Why is a clinical thermometer not used to measure the temperature of air? Answer: clinical thermometer is meant to measure our body temperature. It can measure temperatures in between 35 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius. The temperature of air may not be in these limits. So clinical thermometer is not used to measure the temperature of air. 13th, fill in the blanks. Doctor uses dash thermometer to measure the human body temperature. So generally we use clinical thermometer. Already we have seen here. Clinical thermometer to measure the human body temperature. Next, at room temperature, mercury is in dash state. It will be in liquid state. Okay. Heat energy transfer from dash to dash. Generally higher to lower it transfers. Okay. So heat energy also from higher temperature to lower temperature. So generally when there is a slope, if you throw some water, what happens? It will flow from high to low. So similarly, temperature also transfers from higher temperature to lower temperature. Okay. -7 degrees Celsius temperature is dash then 0 degrees temperature. So which is less or greater? 7 degrees Celsius, here 0 degrees Celsius. Which is greater, which is lesser? Since here it is minus, so this is less than 0. So -7 degrees Celsius temperature is less than 0 degrees Celsius temperature. Okay. Next, 14th one. Match the following. Clinical thermometer. So generally clinical thermometer we use to measure temperature. Okay. So temperature measurement. Normal temperature of human body. How much is the normal temperature of human body? Already we have seen 37 degrees Celsius. Okay. So this is one. Next, heat. Heat, it is nothing but a form of energy. So it is an energy. So you have to write a form of energy. Boiling point of water. What is the boiling point of water? That is nothing but 100 degrees Celsius. Melting point of water. That is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay. Next one. Use the thermometer and record the temperature in your school daily at midday meals time. The following table. Record temperature for a month. So you have to record the temperatures in your school daily in the afternoon. That is midday meals time, means during the lunch time. Okay, you have to record the temperature for a month. You have to write the date and you have to write the temperature. What is the temperature at that time? Okay. Next you have to answer the following. On which day was the temperature highest? What could be the reason? On which day was the temperature lowest? What could be the reason? What was the average temperature during the month? Okay, these you have to write by yourself, because you have to record the temperature, and from that you have to take which day it is highest and which day is lowest, and why it is highest and why it is lowest. Okay. Next, average temperature is nothing but all the temperatures you have to add and divide it by 30 days. Okay, for 30 days you are recording. If it is 31 days, then you divide it by 31 days. Okay, for that month, particular month you take. So if it is 30 days, add all the temperatures and divide it by 30. If it is 31 days, then add all the temperatures and divide it by 31. Okay. So you have to do this by yourself. Okay. Next, draw the diagram of a clinical thermometer and label its parts. What is the use of kink in the clinical thermometer? So this is the clinical thermometer. You have the picture in your textbook. So draw the picture and label all the parts. Okay. Everything you label the parts. You mention the temperature. Okay. And what is the use of kink in the thermometer? Kink prevents the mercury level from falling on its own. Okay. By falling on its own, it will prevent. Okay. It doesn't make it fall down by its own. When the temperature increases, then only the kink increases. Okay, so if temperature is less, it will be below, showing the correct value. What is the temperature exactly at that time? If temperature increases, again the kink moves up and it shows the exact value of temperature. Okay, so this is the use of kink. 17th one. Draw the diagram of laboratory thermometer and label its parts. How does it differ from a clinical thermometer? So draw the laboratory thermometer. Okay, and label all the parts. Okay, hook, stem, capillary tube, glass valve, mercury. Okay. Next, difference from clinical thermometer. What is the difference between clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer? We'll see now. Okay. It differs from clinical thermometer in many ways. This thermometer has no kink in the capillary near the bulb. This thermometer has graduations from -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius, whereas clinical thermometer has graduations from 35 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius. Okay, these are the differences between clinical and laboratory thermometer. Next, 18th one. Measure the body temperature between fingers, under the tongue, armpit, folded hands, folded legs, etc. Is it the same? Does the body temperature remain the same after jumping 10 times? Why? The temperature measured between the fingers, under the tongue, armpit, folded hands, folded legs, etc. are not the same. Real temperature of the body is recorded as true when recorded under the tongue. At other places mentioned, the temperature recorded differ from the temperature taken under the tongue. Temperature taken is in folded legs also do not coincide with other temperatures recorded, as some additional heat may be stored due to folding of legs. Next one. Collect information from hospital, health center about the precautions to be taken while reading temperature with a clinical thermometer. Precaution to be taken. Thermometer should be washed before and after use, preferably with an antiseptic solution. Ensure that before the use the mercury level is below 35 degrees Celsius. Read the thermometer keeping the level of mercury along the line of sight. This is sight. Handle the thermometer with care. Do not hold the thermometer by bulb while reading it. Next 20th one. Measure the temperature of water in normal conditions. If you add the following substance to the water, do you find any difference in temperature? Predict and verify. Water temperature in Celsius. So normally you measure it and write here. Next, water 100 ml each time mixed with 2 tablespoonfuls of each. Glucose, washing powder, baking soda, sugar, common salt. So you have to predict and write, or you have to do this by yourself and write down. Okay, first one, glucose means temperature decreases. Here it is written, and other things you have to predict and write. And what is the thermometer reading? So you have to write. Okay. Do you find any change in thermometer temperature before and immediately after mixing the above substances in water? If yes, what would be the reason? The student is advised to do this with the help of your teacher and record the observation. So this experiment you have to do in your class or at your home. Okay, under the elders' supervision. Okay, you do the experiment and write the temperatures, how much temperature it is decreased or increased, and why it is decreased or increased, you have to write it. Okay, so by this we complete the 5th lesson. So in next video we'll be seeing the next lesson question answers. Till then, bye kids, have a nice day.